What's up, you donkeys? After spending 2 months living the sweet life in Vegas and taking a few days vacation in Cabo, Mexico, we're now in Texas, y'all. We've been invited to do a live stream with the Texas Card House. I'm so excited. It's always been a dream to be on one of these live streams. Next Gen Poker is here to, yes sir, 1-3, $500 max buy-in. Let's not rampage this. Early on, we pick up King Queen suited in the cutoff. Sturdy raises in early position with 10s. Rosie from Next Gen calls with 6s, and I pick up King Queen suited. I know here that King Queen suited wants to be calling most of the time, but I go ahead and take the more aggressive route to try to isolate either Sturdy or Rosie. I go ahead and raise to $130. Little did I know that Peasant woke up with jacks on the button, but wow, he folds. Sturdy goes ahead and makes the call for $100 more, and Rosie folds his 6s. We're off to a flop with $301 in the pot. Rosie looking sour about flopping what would have been an open-ender. Out of position now in a flop that isn't great for my range in a 3-bet pot. So we go ahead and bet just a quarter pot, though I think I prefer a check here since I'm only really getting folds from maybe ace highs, and he's probably going to float a lot of those, so joke's on me. Sturdy rips it all in. I cry and fold. Alright, next we pick up some Courtney's under the gun. I raise it up to $10. Sturdy and I are clashing again. He 3-bets it to $50 with 6-5 suited. I'm thinking this looks very strong as he's 3-betting my under the gun open, so I go ahead and just call here. Let's evaluate a flop, and what a spicy flop it is. I flop middle set, but it also gives Sturdy a pair and a flush draw. If I only had one pair here, he'd actually be ahead, but little does he know I do have a set that's very disguised since I just flatted his 3-bet. I check, and Sturdy now bets $35. Flush draws and straight draws aplenty, so I definitely want to raise. At this point, I put him on aces, kings, or ace king. If he has kings, so be it. I raise to $160. Sturdy is feeling the power of the all-in glasses and rips it all in for $421 effective. Snippety snap. I go Super Saiyan mode. Greg calls all in. Board runs out sexy, and we boat up on the river, which is good because that's how you travel on rivers, on boats. We take Sturdy's money, but not before doing a shameless plug on the stream.
I see it.
You can purchase your very own pair of all-in glasses. Next hand, this is a $7 straddle from under the gun. My dumbass doesn't see it and throws in 2 red chips intending for a raise to $10. Psych, it's a call. Maniac Asian J raises, min raises to $14. Not calls with trash, Lenny calls with suited trash. The commentators are saying go for a squeeze, but I prefer just to flat here with my nut flush potential as I don't want worse flushes to fold out, which happens to be possible with Lenny's spades. So we call 4 ways to flop in position. Flop comes 2 6s and a 9. Top pair, best kicker, gotta bet for value versus worst 9s, and to protect from overcards on the turn and river. We bet $25. Everyone folds. Bada bum, bum, bum. Another small pot for Greg. Oh, here's a short and sweet fun hand. I opened $10 in early position with 6s, folds around to the cutoff who also has 6s and 3-bets them, and I fold. Comedy! Next, we pick up kings in the big blind, and before the graphics have a chance to reveal that, I go ahead and let the viewers know with this sexy breaking the fourth wall look. Haven't clashed with Sturdy in a while, so let's go ahead and do that. Asian J limps with a dirty diaper in the +1. Sturdy raises $20 with Queen Jack offsuit from late position. I still have king, so I go ahead and make the 3-bet squeeze to $70. Dirty diaper is just full of shit and folds. Sturdy calls. We make another set against Sturdy on the flop, but this time of the top set variety. I go ahead and check because I like putting top set into my check raising range. Unfortunately, Sturdy checks back. The turn brings an ace, bringing in the Queen 10 straight and some flush draws as well. Time to blast. We bet half pot and Sturdy calls. River is interesting. It brings in the backdoor flush. Definitely there's a leak in my game right now, which is not knowing how to play my strong made hands when draws come in. In this moment, I decide to go into check call mode. A little disappointed actually when Sturdy checks back immediately. We show and we're good, but disappointed about only getting 1 street of value with my set. Think on the river, I definitely have to take a bet fold line. Can't get too scared about getting raised when there are 2 pairs and sets that I can potentially get value from. Live and learn, live and learn. Let's check into the money. I'm currently up $418, so the stream is actually off to a pretty good start. Next hand, there's an on the gun straddle to $10. We're jacking off in middle position. We raise it up to $35. A billion people call. Off to a flop in second to last position. We flop top pair here. Checks to me, and I check. I think I definitely miss a c-bet here. My thinking at the time is I want to check my top pair marginal kicker hand. Some people might still have king queen here, but actually I don't think that's very likely, and the jack is a good enough kicker to bet, especially when there's so many draws available. But as played, it checks through, and I pay for it when the turn comes the 8 of spades, giving Sturdy the straight as he hits his gutter. He now leads out 100. I call with my top pair drawing dead, and Asian J now chases his gutter and calls as well. The river is a brick, but it does pair the board. Sturdy now down bets to $100 into 475, 6-1 odds. What to do? I call. Asian J folds. I lose. So sad. Moral of the story is c-bet small multi-way with top pair good kicker, especially with draws available, and don't call as light multi-way to river bets. Also, big shout out to Courtney for hopping into the commentary booth. Proud of you, baby. Thanks for roasting me on the stream. Let's try this again. We pick up jacking off again in late position. There's a middle position open, and I decide to 3-bet here as a bluff in position, though I think that against a middle position open versus a competent player that isn't too loose or splashy, this is probably out of line. If I were button and the cutoff open, I'd feel better about this play. Just trying to make some stuff happen of jacking off for the memes, I guess. Unfortunately, Knock picks up king queen suited in the big blind and he calls, and so does the initial opener, so no folds for my jacking off bluff. Yikes on bikes. Let's spike a jack. Flop comes Knock the nuts. I think I should be betting on this flop most times when it checks to me, but I'm so sick. I check. Turn gives me a jack. I'm so sick. I'm still drawing dead. Knock now bets around 3/4 pot, bets around $140. I'm still behind flushes and aces, but I'm ahead of single club bluffs, which there might be some. And you know what? Maybe he has an ace, but then I do have equity with my jack high flush draw, so we call to evaluate a river. River is an ace, which at that time I think is a good card for me. Clubs miss, and now with an ace on the river, it removes combinations of aces that he has. Knock now down bets to $210 into $498. Great odds to call. I think I have a really good bluff catcher. I call. I cry. I'm starting to think that jacking off is not a great hand. After this, we're down now around $291, off to a great start in the stream, and things are now turning around. Alright, are we ready for the donkey play of the day? Next hand, there's a $6 straddle under the gun. I'm second to act and open at $20 with king 7 suited, a little wide from this position, but there's only an hour left in the stream, and we are trying to make money moves. Peasant calls, Knock calls, Straddler calls, 4 ways to a flop. We miss, but decide that there are good turns to barrel on. We bet $30, Peasant with top 2 flats. Everyone else gets out of the way. The plan is to barrel on any club, 10 or queen. The turn is the ace of clubs, so we pick up the nut flush. I think, wow, what a great card to barrel on. Little do I know, Pez has the nuts. We barrel $110. Pez just flats because he has the nuts. What does he have to raise for? River is inconsequential. I've already made up my mind to shove regardless. Please enjoy.
Greg now with the nut club draw on the turn has a good spot to just kind of bluff here.
Let's go.
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately he will be taking the bet.
King high good?
He is all in.
Oh, bluffing to the nuts. You know, I've done that before. Not a great feeling, but you know, you got hats off to Greg for getting it. Good try, guys.
I go ahead and take a bow. Not too often you get to bluff into the nuts, so what a blessing. I'm all smiles and having a blast. We're back with chips. We're down buckets. We pick up ace king in the small blind after Frankie opens and gets 2 callers. We 3-bet to $85. Everyone folds. Bada boom, bum, bum. Another small pot for Greg. Very next hand, we pick up ace king again. We're on the button. Knock opens. Queen jack under the gun. Lenny calls with pocket 5s. I 3-bet once more, this time to $65. And both of them, this time they defend. Flop comes ace king king. We size down to a 1/4 pot, praying for a call. Everyone folds. Bada bum, bum, bum. Another small pot for Greg. One of the last hands we'll play, we pick up ace 7 suited under the gun and open it to $15. 1 caller, 2 caller, 3 better on the button. I make the mistake of calling. Definitely have a leak of over calling 3-bets with suited aces out of position, but as played, I call. J folds, Knock folds, off to a flop, heads up, out of position, but the flop is amazing. It's 5-5 deuce, 2 hearts, a little card read error in the graphics. I check to the pre-flop, aggressor, Sturdy. We've been clashing all day. We're planning to just check raise all in here, but Sturdy does check back. Turn is the queen of diamonds. SPR is a little bit awkward as there's 234 in the pot and we're playing 329 effective stacks. I don't want to bet, get called, then brick river and be left with no fold equity with a small bet. So I decide to do what Greg does best. We go all in. We get the insta fold from the best hand. Made a pre-flop mistake, but made up for it post. Happy to get one good bluff through and glad it wasn't into the nuts. Next, under the gun, straddles to $10. Asian J calls in +1 with ace 3 suited. Jeffrey raises to $40. I call in the big blind with my suited gapper and Asian J calls. Off to a flop, we miss everything, but gladly checks around. Turn is the 3 of diamonds, giving me an open ender. We go ahead and lead here. Asian J calls and Jeffrey folds, the best hand. River is a 7, running good towards the end. We make our straight, but it does bring in the flush draw. But we don't want to make the same mistake we did with top set with kings and only getting 1 street of value even when the draws come in. So we go ahead and bet a little less than pot, but Jay does fold, so we'll take this pot down. All right, very last hand, we do a PLO bomb pot. We flop okay with top pair, 9 high flush draw, and a gutter. Unfortunately, my spades are dead as Knock does have a better flush draw. Knock bets his 2 pair, redraw to flush and straight. Sturdy calls with his set of 4s, and I call with my top pair, flush and gut shot. Turn is pretty great as we pick up the nut flush club draw and gives me 2 pair. We go ahead and check again, and this time it checks around. We're really praying for a club. That would really help us get out of the hole. But alas, the river comes, the 6 of spades, giving me the 9 high flush. Knock the jack high flush, and Sturdy the nut straight. I check. Knock bets small, $140, little less than half, little more than third pot. I find the sizing a little weak, thinking any strong flush is betting larger to cooler, smaller flushes. Feels like a straight is trying to set its price. Sturdy calls now, giving me really good odds to call. But honestly, I don't think I'm really good here ever. But 140 to win, 625, what to do? I side call with the second best hand, and we lose this one. And folks, that will wrap up the live stream. We were in for $1,500, out for $675, giving us a loss of $825. But really, honestly, we're not bummed at all. I had a great time. Best $825 I've ever spent. And heck, I will be chasing my 1-3 losses at the 2-5 live stream happening tonight on TCH Live. If you're in Austin, definitely come by and say hi. Thanks again to Next Gen and Texas Card House. See you soon on the stream. And until then, stay loose, play 7 deuce.